Oh, I can't wait for the backlash I'm going to get for this. What does the Barbie movie and Aphrodite have in common? Let me show you.
The opening is taken from Stanley Kubrick's science fiction 2001 A Space Odyssey. That opening. What does that opening scene focus on? Apes. Look at the apes here as they wake up. So the girls now wake up. So now the little girls are put into the place of apes. It's not an accident. It's not incidental. It's central to the scene and to the message. The girls are as apes. In Kubrick's film, the apes represent the primitive. So in Barbie, girls who play with baby dolls are represented as primitive, unenlightened. In other words, motherhood is primitive. Women as mothers, mother and child, it's a primitive, unenlightened, negative state. In Kubrick's movie, to answer the primitive state, an object appears, a monolith, an upright, rectangular stone slab. The apes are puzzled, disturbed, in awe. It's there to change them away from their primitiveness, their lowly state. So to answer the primitive state of women, as in motherhood, an object appears as a monolith, but it's Barbie. She stands above them as a colossal goddess or a towering idol of a goddess, and she's there to transform them from their primitive state, linked to motherhood. In 2001, the apes cautiously approach the object, touch it, and back away. In Barbie, one of the girls, or primitive ape people, cautiously approaches the object, just like the apes, touches the leg of Barbie and backs away. In 2001, the effect of the object is to transform the ape away from primitiveness, apeness, into enlightened apes, and the enlightened apes use bones to kill other apes. But in Barbie, the effect is even more profound, because in Barbie, she winks at them, the girls are mesmerized and transformed by her spell. As the ape lifted up the bone to kill an animal or an ape, the one girl lifts up her baby doll that she's been caring for, and what does she do? She smashes the baby doll against another baby doll, and against the rocks, the head of the baby cracks open, explodes. You see the decapitated head of a baby against a rock, just as the ape smashed the bone into the head of a dead animal carcass. And so the baby's head is decapitated while another baby is smashed into it and onto the ground. In 2001, the ape throws his stick into the air. So the girl then throws into the air, the sky, the baby, to transform it into the words Barbie. This is the opening of the movie Barbie. The word Barbie means stranger or foreigner. Where did Barbie come from? Came from another land. She came from post-war Germany. She was taken from a German doll named Bild Lily. Her first appearance is a character with a fortune teller. Bild Lily was a form of a sex doll. She was even sold in sex shops. Parents considered her inappropriate for children. She flouted sexual morality. She was depicted as a sex worker, a prostitute. So Bild Lily came to America in the form of Barbie. It's the same outfit you see in the goddess-like image of Barbie at the beginning of the movie. You see it in the first image of Bild Lily. Yes, Barbie was based on a prostitute. Now let's go even deeper. What does Barbie have to do with an ancient Mesopotamian goddess? When a civilization turns away from God, it doesn't become neutral or empty. When it turns away from the Spirit of God, other spirits enter into it. When a culture or civilization that has known God departs from God, drives his spirit out, the house does not remain empty. Other spirits enter into it, the same spirits that were cast out of it. Now, one of the most ancient of these spirits is that of a goddess known in the Bible as Ashtoreth or Ashtoreth. In Sumer, she was called Inanna. In Babylon, she was called Ishtar. Ishtar was the goddess of sexuality, sexual immorality. She was always depicted as a young woman. She was depicted as a young woman on her own, independent. She was often depicted as taking roles traditionally assumed by men. Her ancient literature was pornographic. Mesopotamian culture was filled with her images and idols, figurines, little figures that people kept in their houses. Girls would have undoubtedly looked up to her as a model. As with Ishtar, Barbie is also depicted as an iconic young woman. She's the most widely disseminated figurine of a young woman on Earth. The movie Barbie is a manifestation of the spirit that's been inhabiting America. Am I saying that Barbie is Ishtar? No. But I am saying that the spirit of the goddess will appear and will manifest in a multitude of manifestations. Barbie is an icon and is a manifestation of that spirit. and that metamorphosis. Even the movement away from the dolls of babies and little children to a doll that came from a sex toy is part of it. It represented the beginning step, the first step, the step of women away from motherhood and marriage to an existence that had no necessary connection to men. And that brings us back to that opening scene. The little girls who, under the spell of Barbie, turn away from motherhood, from caring for their baby dolls, and instead begin to destroy them. It all goes with everything else in the film. So what does it mean to have a movie aimed at children where the girls who turn from caring for and nurturing their dolls, they begin destroying and smashing their dolls? If caring for a baby doll corresponds to the caring of a baby, then what does the smashing of a baby doll correspond to? In the opening of 2001, the apes that have been lifted up by the monolith end up using bones to beat enemy apes to death. A kind of chilling scene. But the opening of Barbie is even more chilling because it represents the smashing not of an enemy, but of one's own baby. What do you think that seed that was planted in the minds of girls who watched that scene in that movie will give birth to? And that goes back to Ishtar. Ishtar, in her Phoenician incarnation, or Astarte, in the Bible as Ashtoreth, was also linked to the smashing of babies, to child sacrifice. The ancient spirits are first identified in the Bible as the Shedim in Hebrew. Behind the gods were the Shedim, means spirits, as in Ishtar. But the word Shedim in Hebrew is linked to the word for destruction. The Shedim, the gods, the spirits, were the destroyers. Their aim is to destroy, and their strategy is to cause individuals or societies to destroy themselves. The scripture says we war not against flesh and blood, but against powers, principalities. And this is part of it. Don't be blind to what is taking place. And if the propaganda or attack is sugar-coated, that doesn't make it any less dangerous. It makes it more dangerous. Poison that is candy-coated is more dangerous than poison that is not.